Hi there, and welcome to GoPrep. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how a student can book a tutor, make payment for a tutoring session, and then wait for the session to begin. In part 2 of this tutorial, I'll also show how, as a tutor, you can view your bookings and set up your account so you can start using the GoPrep whiteboard. To begin with, I'll be showing two sides. The first side is from the student's perspective. When a student logs into their account and wants to find a tutor, there are two ways to do that. The student can either click on Find Instructors, or they can scroll down the page and browse through the instructors directly. In this case, let's say the student clicks on Find Instructors. After clicking on it, the student scrolls down because they're looking for a particular tutor that fits their learning goals. Let's assume the student is looking for a tutor called John Smith. When they check the profile, they realize that John Smith is available on Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. The student then views the tutor's profile and sees that the tutor charges 100 Ghana cedis per hour. This works for the student, but the student only wants a 30-minute session. So the student scrolls down to check the courses the tutor teaches. The tutor teaches mathematics for junior high school and also teaches biology for senior high school. In this case, let's say the student wants to learn mathematics. The student then clicks on Let's Talk Now and sends a message to the tutor. The student notices that the tutor is online, so they send a message saying, "Hello, sir, are you available on Monday?" The message is sent from the student, Kingsley Jan, to the tutor, John Smith. However, in this demonstration, the name still appears as Roland because the name has not been changed. After sending the message, the student goes back and proceeds to book the tutor by clicking on Book a Tuition. At this point, the student already knows that the tutor is available on Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Let's say the student wants to book the tutor on Monday, but the availability starts after 5 p.m., meaning any time before 5 p.m. is not included. So the student decides to book the tutor from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. The student clicks on the date and selects Monday, which is the 16th. Since the availability starts after 5 p.m., the student selects 6 p.m. as the start time and 7 p.m. as the end time. After that, the student clicks on Show Availability. The system then shows that the tutor has an available slot. This particular slot is designed for 3 people, and it is a 30-minute slot. This means that the student will be charged half the price of the tutor's hourly rate. The student clicks on the slot, saves it, and continues. Alternatively, if a parent or guardian wants to book a tutor for their ward, they can come to the section that says Book this appointment for someone else. Once this option is toggled on, the guardian can enter the ward's first name, last name, and email address. The email address can be the parent's email address if the ward does not have one. The phone number can also be the parent's phone number. However, the relationship should be clearly stated to show who is booking for whom. The address is also filled in, and there is a section for special comments. If the ward has special needs or requires special attention, that information can be added there. In this case, let's assume the student is booking the tutor on their own. The student saves and submits the booking. Once the booking is submitted, the system automatically divides the tuition fee into 2 because the session is for 30 minutes. Since the tutor charges 100 Ghana cedis per hour, the student is charged 50 Ghana cedis for a session from 6 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. The student then proceeds to check out. At the checkout page, the student's first name, last name, address, phone number, and email address are automatically filled in. The The tuition cost is shown as 50 Ghana cedis, and the booking date and time is displayed as February 16th from 6 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. The service details are also shown. At this point, the student can choose a payment method. The student can either use Express Pay or select any of the other payment gateways available. In this case, Express Pay is no longer being used, so the student selects one of the options below and places the order. After placing the order, the student is prompted to enter their phone number and select the mobile network they want to use for payment. The student can also choose to make payment using a card or by bank transfer. Instructions are displayed on the screen, and the student is informed that the account for this transaction will expire in 30 minutes. In Ghana, most people will likely use mobile money. The student then confirms the payment. A pop-up appears on the screen prompting the student to authorize the transaction. The student waits for the OTP to be sent to their phone, for example, 254315. The student then enters the code and authorizes the payment. After authorizing the payment, another pop-up appears on the screen for confirmation. Once the payment is approved, the transaction is completed and the student proceeds. While this process is ongoing, as soon as the order is successfully made, an email notification is sent to both the tutor and the student to confirm the booking and payment.